On the night of July 1st, 2002, Bashkirian Airlines Flight 2937 and DHL Flight 611 crossed paths in the skies over Germany. Just 1 minute later, 71 people would never make it home again. And in this video, I'm going to tell you all about one of the worst aviation disasters in Germany's history. On the night of July 1st, 2002, two planes were flying at the same altitude near the German-Swiss border. One was a passenger plane from Bashkirian Airlines. There were 69 people on board, most of them children and teenagers excited to go to Spain for summer vacation. The other was a DHL cargo plane with two pilots on board. At that time, at the Zurich Air Traffic Control Center, there was an on-duty controller named Peter Nielsen, and he had to monitor several areas at once. And just a moment later, he spotted the two planes I just mentioned to everyone. Those two planes were heading straight toward each other. But by the time he noticed, there was almost no time left. Controller Peter Nielsen ordered the passenger plane 2937 to immediately descend. Almost at the same time, the TCAS system on both the passenger plane and the cargo plane was activated. TCAS ordered the DHL 611 to descend. At the same time, TCAS instructed the passenger plane to climb. These two commands are designed to work together to prevent the two planes from colliding. One plane has to climb while the other has to descend. But what's the really crucial issue here? The pilot of the DHL cargo plane followed the TCAS instructions. That means he descended, while the passenger plane pilot ignored the TCAS instructions. Instead of climbing, he followed the instructions of air traffic controller Peter Nielsen and also descended. So instead of one plane climbing and the other descending, both planes ended up descending. Just seconds later, instead of the two planes moving apart, they both descended to the same altitude. Realizing that the danger still hadn't been resolved, air traffic controller Peter Nielsen continued to contact the passenger plane. He informed them that the DHL plane was approaching from the right. But that information was not accurate. The passenger plane was here, but the cargo plane was actually approaching from the left, and it was barreling toward the passenger plane from the left at a speed of over 800 kilometers per hour. The pilots of Bashkirian Airlines immediately looked to the right to search for the cargo plane, but there wasn't any plane there at all. In reality, the cargo plane was approaching from the left at an extremely high speed. By the time the passenger plane spotted the cargo plane on the left, boom! It was already too late, everyone. A massive collision happened in the sky, and in the end, 71 people lost their lives. Out of those 71 people, 49 were children. You think the story ends here, right? Not yet. Now I'll continue the story. A father named Vitaly Kaloyev lost his wife and two children in that horrific disaster in the sky. He believed that Peter Nielsen, the air traffic controller, was the one responsible for the tragedy that befell his family. He blamed Peter Nielsen entirely for the disaster, and 2 years later, Vitaly flew to Switzerland to find Peter Nielsen. In the end, Peter Nielsen collapsed right in front of his own house.